Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Guile Treatment. No guest this week. I have Chris though, and he is got some stuff he wants to
Got
get
some
off his
stuff I
chest.
gotta get off my chest, man. I get some stuff. But I guess we could start with like some little things. We had a Premier Store event this past weekend. At 8 players. I played Liu Kang. Did not even top 4 with Liu Kang, which is really hard.
Liu Kang's fair and balanced, dude.
Dude, like, round 1 against Reese, he played Gemini Man 2 because he didn't have another deck. He just, like, I'll play Gemini Man.
Did you lose to Gemini Man?
Oh, no. I stomped the shit out of him in, like, 10
okay.
minutes. Yeah, I beat him in 10 minutes, and then we just, like, hung out. And then round 2, I played against Ben Lambright playing Sub-Zero off of order. Okay?
Okay.
I turn 2, go Fatality, Yin and Yang, Yin and Yang. Okay, so he has 5 in his pool, right?
Mm-hmm.
First 5 cards, no attacks. Okay? I play an attack. I play, like, Shield Ram or something.
Mm-hmm.
Next
check
6...
an attack?
No. Next 6 cards, no attacks. Like, I didn't even check an attack. I was like, oh, I'm getting one now. Nope. Played another attack. No attacks. I went 17 cards in a 62 card deck, minus whatever I've played, missed attacks completely.
So you need to shuffle better.
That was game 1, bud. Yeah, I guess so. And then, like, he goes in on his turn 2. He goes like, oh, deep free. He goes Fatality, flip, something to commit and seal my Celestial Beam. Sweeps it, deep freeze, seals 3 more, stuns 3, frost hammer, and he just killed me. That was both games. Like, that was both games. That happened both games. I had never seen Liu Kang shit out so bad. Like, I'm not even that, like, I think it's funny. I'm not even mad about that. It's just hilarious. The terrain didn't matter in that match because we did that weird terrain thing.
Right. You were doing like I didn't know you were doing that for Premier Store.
Yeah, which is kind of cool because I guess they don't care what we do for format-wise as long as we have 8 people, I guess. So that's kind of nice, I guess.
I have no idea.
But we had Cossack Citadel, and every time I went to go do it, I got an attack. So the one time I got to do it, because it was committed on both players' first turns, because it'd created an advantage, obviously, if turn player 1...
Man, God forbid that the person going second gets a bonus.
Yeah, whatever. But Ben hit a foundation. I hit attacks. I hit an attack the one time I did it. And I was just like, whatever. And then against Trent in round 3, he played Earth Johnny Cage.
Okay.
We had the Cove, by the way, during that. So all my attacks were base 2 damage. Except for Nero, which was a 5. Come to find out, Trent doesn't play spam in his deck whatsoever. No 0s, no 1s, just straight 3s and 2s. Because he's like, don't need them. I want to be able to... He builds 2 on turn 1, and it's just like, okay, that's fine. If he hits the 3rd one, he hits the 3rd one. But he threw me into oblivion because I have no throw defense in my Liu Kang deck. That's something that will be changed. But yeah,
Wait, what symbol are you on?
I'm off death, so I could be playing... I know. Didn't think I would need it because I didn't think anybody would be playing throws, Rob. So
doesn't matter if they're playing.
I know, and it also helps me dig through my deck faster for attacks. So that's something else now in hindsight.
Are you running? What's it called?
What?
Pulled Imagogen.
No, my deck is 62 cards, man. I want to be able to. It plays no like real defense other than what Liu Kang can play. So yeah. But anywho, so it's okay, no worries. But yeah, he threw me pretty badly. I ripped like no attacks game 1 against him, so I probably need a pile shuffle again. I pile shuffle, kick the crap out of him in game 2. On my turn 3 because I hit quad Nero on my turn 3 and he just dies because he wasn't committed, but all his foundations were committed, and I Nero'd his warrior. Whatever the warrior destined or descendant. I narrowed that up. So he couldn't use that. So he was sitting with no damage reduction other than the Cove. And then, yeah, I know, right?
Other than Cove.
Other than Cove.
Now,
But
did he use Cove on any yin and yang?
yeah, he did. He did it once. I had to play around that, which wasn't too bad. It wasn't that bad, but it sucked though because I had gone like spiders, fireball, yin and yang. He coved me, and then I couldn't shield ram or Nero off my fireball, so I had to play the shield ram non-combo, which kind of felt sad. But then I got to Nero 2 more times after that, so I'm not going to.
Now the real question is, did you yin and yang before you responded with spiders?
No. Why?
Well, because then I would presume he just put the face down that you flipped.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what he did. So I should have done it backwards. Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, granted, then it was on a 4, so you could have had to commit something, but you're getting a ready foundation from spiders anyway.
No, very true. But then game 3, I run kind of cold. RNGesus was not nice to me this weekend, and then he just throws me into oblivion again. He just plays the Gabrick attacks. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's all he does. Just loop and spider suplex. So he's continually gaining back 3 health on my 2 damage attacks. So the terrain rule fucked me, man. The terrain rule fucked me. But
I think you just needed throw defense.
Yeah, that's also true. So that's also something that's going in there. But it was fun though overall. Even though I didn't do too well, I still had a lot of fun. The terrain thing was kind of neat. I think we're going to revisit it, but change out some of the terrains because the ones that have like forms or some of them, like even like Balecor's throne room doesn't work very well with the overlapping thing. But if anything with like a static will work fine. But Marco took it down again for the 3rd time in a row with Quan Chi. Off his tri-symbol Quan Chi deck. Yeah, so this kind of like leads into my main topic, I guess, is I guess you could say like the salt has been wiped off my eyes or whatever like the biblical sense is, where I can see now. Design kind of sucks, man. I'm
Chris Smith on the road to Damascus.
Yes, exactly. Like I'm to the point where I'm just not going to buy boxes anymore. I'm just going to find a character I like out of a set because every set since I would say Battle for Power has been play X character, play X character support. And there's some leeway in there. Like
Blood Omen was play Zoe. You didn't play Zoe.
That was and that leads me to my next point. Like
you can play Quan Chi. You don't play Quan Chi support.
And this is my next point: is that the overpowered banned characters that have came out of past sets or should be banned, like a la Spike One or Quan Chi, buck that trend where they don't need their support to be successful because they're overpowered. Like Quan Chi shouldn't exist. Like that character should not exist. The R should have a fair cost on it, if even that R on it.
Right, because that R used to exist on Gabrick.
But it was like a 5+
it was like a
4+ or 5+.
4+, and it might have been a 5+.
Yeah, and it wasn't just free. Like you actually had to pay a cost for it. And the fact that he breaks game rules by using multiple once per turn abilities, I get it that the game rules state that it's a brand new card, so he could use that ability. There needs to be something done to where it's like, hey, like, you can't do that. You can't do like Marco's final kill turn was, I think, a 7 card. It was like on a 5, on a 5, on a 5, on a 5, on a 6, on a 7, on an 8. And he checked a 10, by the way, on that 8 because he used Devora on the one prior. Because he used all 4 Dimitris to make his first 4 attacks not count towards progressive. Yeah. And Ben was just like, well, I stopped him this turn. Like, he used stop. Whoop, drew 6 gray. Built. Well, no, he drew 5 gray because he had another stop in hand. Stopped him again for a 2nd turn in a row. Drew 2 attacks that wouldn't do anything against him. So he held them to maybe sculpt a kill turn. Stopped him a 3rd time in a row. And drew more gray. So, and he's playing like 24 attacks in his deck. So, yeah. But that is not the main point. It's the fact that the way the sets are going is this: is I'm going to pick a character. I'm going to play all their support. I'll sprinkle in some shit from other sets that works, and I'm just going to roll with that because that's just the way it seems like how things are going. I may be wrong, but that's just from my point of view. And I know that a lot of I know there's a few other players in the community who actually echo that too. That it's like they're designing sets for idiots. Like it's just like, well, here guys, here's some stuff. You know, it's like if you can't figure it out, at least you have this block of support to use. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think like the thing is I don't know. I think Quan Chi was a little bit of like a you know, people like looked at him, they're like, he's pretty good. And it wasn't until you saw his support, you were like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he was definitely somebody where, because that was the thing is, you got to think when the characters were like spoiled at Worlds.
Yeah.
Like, everybody knew Quan Chi was stupid from the second he got pregnant.
Yep.
You know, like everyone just looked at him and went,
why?
This guy's not going to be around.
Yeah, exactly.
And like Liu Kang is somebody who's like, I think he's better in practice just because of how many good combo attack, like just generic combo. Like that's part of it is that everything in this set is like combo attack.
Attack, yeah, exactly.
And like, so it's not like, you know, you really have to go, well, like, you know, like if you're running the stupid, like Fei Long things, you're like, well, combo mid, but I want to play these high attacks. Well, you know, like combo, like, you know, like the old, Jetta stuff, right? Like combo low block.
Yeah, like, this is like why.
It's maybe
like, at least Nero's a combo, which actually is.
Right. Well, I mean that's why it's like the thing is like Nero's combos sucked because there weren't good combo attacks.
Yeah,
now there are.
Yeah.
Now its combo is actually useful.
Yeah.
Plus, like because he clogs up their pool, I mean you're playing that on like a 2 or a 3 or less.
I've played it on a 0 multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean I got it played on me on like a -10.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
whatever.
just ridiculous.
But I mean the thing is like so Quan Chi. Because I know I didn't play last week. I had some stuff to do, but Scott put together Hardiman's deck from that won the UK.
Yep.
And he was in his you know succinct summary was, man, that deck's really stupid.
Yep. Justin Pardo played. He had a guy build it too. One of his players built it, and he got ovipositored like 7 times on turn 2 or 3 or something like that. And he's like, "This is dumb. Like this shouldn't exist." Like it's like kudos to Mike. That deck is amazing and it's very efficient and it just murders people unless you get like randomly surprised by a random Cassie that shows up. But you know, he won the event because he put that time in and he built that deck and you know and just the synergy is just amazing.
To sort of get back to what you were saying, the thing about Quan Chi, just from like a design standpoint, is like I don't know how a character like that gets printed.
See, about that is that you know we all know like they've come out and said that they test for turbo first to make sure the cards. But it's not, like, my issue is this though.
Forget testing. Forget testing.
I understand
you
that.
Test Quan Chi.
No, you just don't print it.
Read Quan Chi.
Yes,
and have like critical analysis.
Well, the issue is that when they test for turbo, The main enablers for Quan Chi aren't even in turbo because the set's not even technically legal for it, which are the platinum characters.
I mean, like Devora and Spike 2 are legal.
They're legal, but the Dimitri enhance and the Napalm enhance are huge enablers. And when you and I'm pretty sure they only tested with Mortal Kombat characters because even with just Devora, he's dumb, you know. But it's just it just doesn't seem like they tested that card at all.
From what I've heard, I heard someone saying that they test turbo to make sure that the characters like support functions.
Yes.
And then they do test like in standard to quote unquote try to break things.
And they don't.
And I guess I don't really know who is on playtest at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, Shane had like a fair amount of success playing, I guess we'll call it as a pro. I mean, I don't really know if there's any like pros in this game.
Yeah.
But I mean, I give him the benefit of the doubt in terms of like constructing like kind of messed up decks.
Yeah.
But I don't know who else is, testing.
Because I mean,
honestly, if it's the rest of the staff, like I've seen very little indication from any of them that they're capable of like building something that's like truly messed up.
Yeah. No.
And that's fine. Like that's not really their job, unless you make it their job, in which case,
yeah.
But to sort of, before we get too far away, the thing about Quan Chi is, I mean, the easiest thing I can compare him to, and you'll understand this, is the old 3-drop Dr. Light from Versus, Master of Holograms.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And for people who don't know, people who didn't play Versus, it was a character, his stats were terrible. He was like very understated. And he had an ability he could, I guess in terms of UFS, he could commit, and you could pick any other character that was cost 2 or less. So it's sort of like Magic, where you don't have one character, you have a bunch. So effectively, he was like a creature that was like a 3 cost, and he could bring any 2 cost or less into play for free. And the thing is in Versus, like there was really no way to cheat resources very often. Typically, ways to do it were busted.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were sort of very strict about their like resource curve. And originally he could do it any number of times. There were, as soon as he was printed, there were infinite combo decks that went off on like turn 3 or turn 4.
Yep.
And would just like burn your opponent to death immediately.
Wasn't there like an infinite life gain one too, where like the?
I mean, you could do everything. You could make an infinitely large character, burn for infinite, and like gain a bunch of life. It was whatever.
Yeah.
The light show.
I beat that. I beat the last time. And just a quick segue. The last time he was actually legal, or before they errated him, where he could go off infinitely. I won that PTQ with Curve Sentinel because of Search and Destroy, and that one commit. Discard a Sentinel Army, negate target activate ability.
Negate and activate?
Yeah, that guy just beat the shit out of that. Yeah, it was awesome.
So here's the thing. So they had him. They errated another card that made that infinite. So basically, they errated a card that killed the infinite.
Mm-hmm.
Then he was still a problem. They errated him to make it so that he was only once per turn. And then he was still like this card went in every single deck. It went in aggressive decks. It went in control decks. It went in curve decks. It went in off-curve decks. Like, it went in literally everything.
Yeah, yes, it did.
And they finally did ban it. And when they banned it, like, the reason that they cited is they said that his existence was limiting their design space. And the reason why is because every single time that they wanted to print a 1-cost or 2-cost character that had a come-into-play effect, they had to go... Okay, well, what if you get this every single turn?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing for Quan Chi.
Mm-hmm.
Is every single time from now until he gets banned or rotates, which is forever.
Yeah.
But every single time that they have a character that they want to print that has an ability that's playable like once per turn, once per game. I mean, that's the thing. It's like imagine somebody like Jury except an enhance instead of a response.
Yeah.
Like anytime they print a character that's like that, where they have like a once per turn or whatever ability or enhance that doesn't require them to commit their character, you have to say, okay, this is pretty balanced. What if someone gets to play it 4 times a turn?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or what if they get to play it, what if they get to play it 2 times a turn?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, is that okay? And that's the thing. It's like, so you just talked to it. It's like, so this person played Dimitri, ignore enhance, or ignore progressive, ignore progressive, ignore progressive, and then played like Devora 2 or 3 times where you're getting a giant check boost and a bunch of life gain.
Yeah. I don't see how that. I don't see how that's fair.
Like an intended thing, and I don't like. It's not. It kind of invalidates characters. I mean, I sort of jokingly say, I'm like, why would you play Devora when you could just play Quan Chi and still get Devora's E when it's important?
And that kind of leads me into another point, where it's like, I had one of the videos up on our channel. It was my Liu Kang deck versus the Pyron. And the guy commented, "How is this fun? It looked like he couldn't interact with you at all. How is this fun for anybody?" And I still stand by my response is, this is how the game is going to be at a competitive level now, is where it's basically one player masturbating all over the table at the other guy until the other guy dies. And that's the way, and the other guy can't do anything about it. And that's what it just seems like it's going to turn. This is what the game's turning into. It's nothing I don't want to be a part of. I don't want to spend my money on that.
The thing is, I don't think it's every character.
Oh no,
I think it's the good characters.
My main point is at the competitive level, where if I go to Worlds or if I go to Nats, I have to play this garbage.
Or if you go to a PTC.
Yeah, or a PTC.
Or if you go to a PTC and you make tops.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that was what it was in Virginia.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was playing that Anna Karis deck, like, my opponent got every opportunity to kill me. But
during
like,
your turn,
when it was my turn,
they didn't do anything. They sat there.
It was literally just, I'm going to just touch like 15 cards and you're going to sit there and go, you know, wake me up when it's my turn. Let me know how many attacks I have left.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. And how was that? Why, as a game designer, or even as a company, why would you want your game to turn into that? You know, it's not.
I don't think it's intentional. I think it's a playtest issue.
And that's you know.
Well, the thing is, you know, we don't know, and a lot of things that like playing a lot of the cards, it really feels like it's sort of like tested in like a one-sided way, where the goal is basically like, does my stuff go off, and not how, like, you know, it doesn't seem to extend to like a two-player game.
Like, what's the counterplay?
Like,
kind of like that.
Like, Bebop was almost entirely like that. I feel like, you know, I mean, Spike, like Ed9, Jet. Yeah. I mean, I guess Fitch. I don't know. Yeah. Like, it wasn't everybody, but a lot of the characters, they almost felt like they were playing like a
Solitaire. Yeah.
You know, not really, but it was something where it's just like, this is what I want to do. I don't care what you're doing. Like, maybe I have some, like, you know, Jet's like, yeah, I'll breaker 5 you, whatever. Yeah. Like, you know, Vicious, I'll flip some stuff. Spike was just like, I'm going to block everything and hit you with unblockables, whatever. But, you know, at 9, I'll discard your hand. Like, that's the thing is, and the other issue that we sort of have is, like, the things that different decks do are so widespread. And this isn't necessarily, like, a detriment, but they're so widespread that it's difficult. Like, you know, you can have some deck where you're like, I'm teched up to deal with this, and man, I hope I don't run into that.
Oh, sure, yeah.
You know,
it's kind of like what Tim Keefe said about when he won with Pharaoh Man, where he was just like, Zoe would have wrecked me if I ever played one, you know, and he just you know, he just dodged it, and that was his worst matchup, and he dodged it all. But you know, it's just, and that leads to be another point where it feels like certain themes aren't like within a set, stuff is coherent, I guess, whatever. But if you go from, like, say, like Bebop to MK, there's some discard overlap, you know, and there's some ally overlap, but there's nothing else. There's nothing that, like, meshes that together as, like, UFS as a game. Because right now they're marketing every set as Cowboy Bebop, the trading card game, Mortal Kombat, the trading card game. But are we playing UFS first, though, and using these licenses? I get it, it's like a marketing standpoint, but again, Jasco doesn't market anyway, so why does it even matter? Street Fighter vs. Darkstalkers coming winter 2017, so you know, it just doesn't make sense to me about how they, you know, like, I get, like, they want things to be flashy and fun, but it's not fun for the other person on the other side of the table when they're sitting there with 4 cards in hand and they can't do shit. You know, they just sit there and they're like, well, you're throwing a billion speed attack for quadruple my life total. Well, I guess I'm done. You know, it's just, I don't know. I just don't, it frustrates me because it seems like we were in a really good place before Cowboy Bebop. And
yeah, I mean, like, honestly, I think Bebop is a problem more than Mortal Kombat. I still think Bebop is a problem more than Mortal Kombat.
I honestly think more. I think outside of Quan Chi and probably Yin and Yang, I think overall that
Liu Kang is more of a problem than Yin.
Well, I think it's easier to take care of Liu Kang by getting rid of Yin and Yang.
here's the thing.
In my opinion,
if you have Yin and Yang, and you played in a character other than Liu Kang, it's decent.
Yeah,
you know, people can use it.
True.
Like if you're playing like Takeda and you block with it, you're like, hey, cool, I can pick up my like combo reversal. Like that's nice.
That's true. Yeah.
Or I can pick up like this combo that I'll play next turn if like I don't have to block with it. I mean, you can play it and pseudo get +2 speed on everything.
Yeah, I get what you're saying though.
But you know, like Liu Kang, if he does like here's the thing: if Liu Kang doesn't have a Yin and Yang and he just goes like. I'll like Cowboy Battery, and then I'll play like a Fireball, and then a combo. Like that's still gonna be 4 cards in your pool. And like if he starts, you know, digging up, like, you know, if he starts digging up like Neurophaticas or something, like you're gonna get punched in the mouth a bunch.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Liu Kang is definitely more of a problem than.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But yeah.
Plus, Yin and Yang is like a $40 ultra rare.
Whatever.
And, Liu Kang is a common.
Yeah, but you know, whatever.
I mean,
but anyway.
they banned Twinkle, not like you know.
Yeah, not distraction, destruction.
Destruction. So
yeah, it's just.
Go
ahead, continue.
The other thing too is like, typically when you have a set that you know, like if you have some relatively like new or like supported mechanics that like haven't really been prominent in a while, like you also in the set like you know you want to introduce some counterplay to that, and like they did that to a degree with like discard. I mean actually in some ways like I feel like it was like Platinum, was it Platinum and Bebop? I don't know. I know that there were a couple sets where there was like all of this discard hate, and it was just like it was why are we getting all this discard hate? Like what's going on? And then we got like Ed9 and now we have like Reptile and stuff. And you're just like, okay. And like that's fine. Like that's how you want to do it. And you might still argue that some of those like there's more than you can discard hate, but at the same time it's just like, I mean you have enough ways to deal with like 2 or 3 discards. Like if they get more than that, like you're probably gonna die
anyways.
Like, whatever.
No, exactly. No, I agree.
But there is nothing. Not enough. There are about 2 or 3 cards in the standard that can sort of deal with like Liu Kang for a turn.
Yeah. You mean card pool flooding overall for the most? You mean card pool flooding overall, or you mean like stop and bang too?
I mean, like those help.
Yeah.
You know, if you played on like the first attack or something.
Yeah.
You know, again, presuming that like
they don't yin and yang you twice. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess. But, like, you know, for instance, if they're playing, like, on water, I mean, they could short fuse a stop.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, there's a ton of action hate. I mean, they could somehow, I mean, even, whatever the one you have, Celestial.
Yeah.
Like, if you have Celestial Being and they have stop, you don't care.
Yeah, you don't care. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like, that works better against the fire build. But, I mean, obviously, Bang works fine. But that's a card in hand.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm moving more, like... something like Krieger to Sea, which really I think there's about 3 or 4 people that can use.
Oh, sure.
And that's presuming that they don't like end up fixing it so that it's like hiding only. What is it? I mean, it's like that, Anacharis, Shinnok, and maybe somebody else. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's not a lot.
No.
And I mean Heidi. And then you have, like, what is it, like, Sisterly Scolding?
Yeah.
Like, I know that card keeps getting brought up, and, like, it is actually pretty funny. I mean, it does work. Yeah. But that's just the kind of thing where it's like, you're not mainboarding that card.
No. Oh, you know, God, no.
You can have a couple on the sideboard, and if you don't draw it, it doesn't matter. But, yeah, it's just something where you would have thought that there were, like, what's it called is fine. The Chasing the Fight Money. I mean, that's okay. It's fine against like a yin and yang. It's not going to do anything against Liu Kang.
Exactly. And
the issue is also like, you know, okay, it can stop like 1 yin and yang. Like you can destroy a foundation to effectively like keep 2 cards out of your pool, but you know, it's like you could still easily end up with like 3 or more.
Yeah.
It's like you need something where it's like if they do something, you get to like clear it.
Yeah.
And it could be like opponent's turn only. I don't
like kind of like a Stunning New Look, but like an updated version of Stunning New Look, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it could be like an R, like something. Even just, you know, like, there were some of the things in Street Fighter that were like opponent's turn, like destroy, and you could like ready 2 foundation.
Yeah.
Like what was it? It was like a 2/4 or something.
It was a Fei Long card. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It was a Fei Long card. It wasn't very good.
No.
But I mean, like, you could have easily printed a card in Mortal Kombat that was just like, E destroy like opponent's turn, clear your card pool.
Yeah. Or get rid of X amount of cards or whatever, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Or like discard a card from your card pool for each attack in that card pool.
Yeah,
like just something.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
And and basically made like 2 or 3 cards like that. So that you at least like each symbol
got
had
something. Kind of like with this whole with spiders and stuff, where every symbol has something to deal with flip or whatever.
I guess. But it's more just like at least more than none. Because I don't think there's any. I don't think there's anything in Mortal Kombat that really helps with like anti-clutter.
The closest thing would be the Cassie Foundation, Shadow Inheritance.
You're right. Shadow Inheritance is a good answer. It's just it's pretty tough to play in not Cassie.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's. But you're right. So there is a card. That's true.
Yep.
We obviously talked about it a lot for the Cassie deck.
Yeah.
But okay.
But
there you go. So there's one.
Yeah.
So
that's still not enough.
Can we get like 2 more?
And then to jump on like the whole Quan Chi thing is like you can revoke his enhance, but like you can't like Shuo King stops him cold, but like hand cannon doesn't because it's removed by cost. Is it? Yeah, it's remove his cost. So so he still gets around it that way. And just that R is it just doesn't make any sense why it's just free and balanced, I guess.
I mean, he's similar to Spike.
Yeah.
Spike was like the 724 and he had a bunch of damage reduction. People were just like, well, I mean, he's basically like a 7, like 30 or more.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have a Spike and, like Portal Barrier and...
But like the issue is though that Spike is only once per enhance. That R can trigger every enhance that you play. So
right. Well, but the thing is, I mean, Spike also starts with 4 more vitality.
Yes, that's also true.
I mean, the thing with the Quan Chi is that so he has that, and then I mean, and like so you have a ton of like free damage reduction basically, and then on top of that, you start getting like. If you're like, oh, I'm going to copy, like, Devora and just gain, like, 4 or 5 life.
The one card that I noticed that...
I'm going to copy, like, Dimitri and gain 2 life.
Like...
or I'm going to block you with a Templar and gain 2 life. So, I mean, Quan Chi is another one where he's like 30 to 40 vitality.
Novitiate stops his R. That's the only card that I'd see that'd be worth playing to stop his R. Because it doesn't... Like... To say like you use like an out of your league, you burn 3 to stop his R1.
I mean, Novitiate's really good. I mean, Novitiate honestly should be, I think, at least a 1 of main and possibly 2 in all its symbols.
Yeah.
And probably some more on the side, just because like stops Quan Chi, it stops like Liu Kang Dig.
Yep.
It stops like Spike damage reduction. I mean, there's plenty of things that it's like very good against.
Oh yeah.
The only thing is that you have to make sure that it's not stopping you.
Yeah,
because obviously it's players can't do things, and so some of that stuff where it's like can't do stuff that reduces damage. Well, that means that for instance, if you're Quan Chi or Spike or like
you don't get to do it.
I don't know. I'm sure there's other one. Your immortal knowledge. I guess that doesn't share a symbol.
But Reptile doesn't share a symbol with them, but yeah.
No,
but I know what you mean.
But like anything that's like it gets like plus or minus, you can't play.
You can't even play it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just a bad beat because right now it just seems like there's not a lot to counter stuff that there are cards, but they're very. You can count them on your hand. Maybe.
Well, the thing is, like a lot of the cards. Like the thing is a lot of the cards basically buy you a turn.
Yep.
And that's fine. But then you have to draw.
Yeah, if you break...
And it's like you said with Ben. I mean, he stopped him 3 turns in a row and didn't draw attacks.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, so what? I'm just sitting here like just basically waiting for you to be able to do your thing. And hoping that I can draw stuff before you do.
It just seems like it's whoever draws their gimmick combo attack string first. I know it's like UFS in general, but it just seems even more prevalent now than it has been in the past to where you could actually defend properly.
Well, I mean, I think the attacks are stronger.
Yeah. Oh, of course. We've said that before. Yeah.
And
I
mean, that's really it. I mean, I don't think it's like a vastly different game. I think it's just a little more like condensed.
Yeah.
It's like you know, they didn't like all these games that went long, and now there aren't very many.
It just seems like, you know, but that also tailors back to, well, is it like a playtest thing that they want the game to go like X amount of terms, or it's just because we all know honestly, that like, they want to go the magic 3 to 6 turns, but I've never, you know, Jesus, 6 turns.
I don't know, man. I think the game is probably pretty close to where they want it.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, and there's plenty of people that don't like it. I think there's plenty of people that do. Mm-hmm. I'm not like a huge fan. I mean, part of it for me is I don't mind. I don't know. It's sort of tough to put this. Let's see. I don't really mind, you know, when you just get like blown out. But I feel like in a lot of games, they're like at least the thing is against the very, very like upper echelon of characters. If it feels like when they have like an average to above average draw, there's very little you can do about it.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't like, when I get like outplayed or when I make like a stupid mistake or something like that, and you're just like, all right, like I blew that one, like, you know, you feel like you're like, all right, like I lost, but there's something I could do about it. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of games now where you lose and you're just like, I mean, I guess I could have drawn better.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Maybe there's some games where you're just like, I guess maybe I should run this hate piece and hope I draw it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of it. I think part of it is going to be like deck building. And, you know, you need to be aware of like what stuff is out there. And you need to run the cards that can help.
Yeah.
And you might not draw them or you might draw them and they'll buy you a turn and you can't do anything with it. And like, that's, you know, I mean, that's bad beats. But it's kind of one of those things. I just don't like the games where you basically have like a lack of agency, where you just kind of like do a couple things and get blown out and just kind of go, well, I mean,
I guess that's it.
Really there wasn't anything I could do.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It just seems like it seems like that's where
honestly, like
it's just annoying.
Like, go ahead.
It's just annoying that the game has turned into that, to where it used to be really, really awesome where you would interact with the other player, you know, sometimes, for the most part. I don't know, I guess, but it seems like the way I'm going to say competitive play, like I said, it's
here's the thing. So that's the thing, is I think like a bunch of the casual stuff is fine.
Oh yeah, me too. I think casuals is great. I think that's really good. It's like when you get prepped for whatever and you're running into 8 billion Quan Chis and you're practicing Liu Kang all the time and blah 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 blah, and it's just like when I was in Cincinnati and I was just rolling people with Liu Kang, people were just like, how do we beat this? It's like, you know, Phil beat me because he was playing Vega and Vega's fucking retarded and he's awesome, so you know, but whatever. But that it just seemed like, because like I rolled Jet on turn 1, I rolled a Quan Chi on turn 1, I rolled a Scorpion on turn 1, going second with no foundations. I killed these characters. Granted, I got super lucky with the Nero pulls off the top, obviously, because it didn't happen this past weekend.
So what you're telling me is this weekend was just conservation of greatness.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it was. And going back to like design, just to jump back to what you're talking about.
Well,
like
I just want to say something.
Okay.
Is, you know, you're sort of saying like a lack of interaction or whatever. And I mean, I think it's a little bit of that. In some regards. I mean, obviously like the Liu Kang thing. You know, there's
the fatality thing.
Almost not. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think there are things like,
you
know, we talked about like Quan Chi. It's like, you know, you can play stop, you can play novitiate. There's things you can do.
Yeah.
It's more that a lot of the cards that are like answers are either one-time use or they require a certain amount of investment. You know, it's like, you know, when you're like holding a stop or, you know, something like that, or like passing a stop block. I mean, I know I used to run some stops, and a lot of the times the characters I wanted to play against like had speed, and I was just like, dude, I can't pass this on like a 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you know, it's like I can keep it as character, and then I'm just gonna die.
Yeah.
I mean, there's less for now. There's less speed.
Yeah.
But it's kind of one of those things where there are ways to interact, but they're not nearly on the level of like the raw power of some of these characters.
Agreed.
And it's a fine line. I mean, I don't think. I mean, I sure don't want to see like the Grey Wars.
No, I don't want to.
Where you start getting out like 2 control pieces, and then all of a sudden it's just like who can get more negation to the negation to play their turn.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind there being pieces that are like reusable, where you can have that out and basically just be like, you can kill me, but like at least find a way to like stun this first, or like use like a hunt to flip it, or a War for Armageddon if it's an R, or like just something where it's like this is going to be out here, and if you don't have a way to deal with it, like I'm not saying that it makes it impossible for you to win, but it's at least going to be difficult.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult.
I like that's just the thing for me is that the defense is still fine. It's just harder to play than offense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And some of that is costs. I mean, that's the thing is, when you look at Quan Chi, it's like, well, I think his copy ability is dumb just for what I stated. I mean, I think that's like going to be a like constriction on design, and like basically is allowing things like it basically removes the limitations that were put on the reason those abilities are once per turn is because they're really good. Yes. And when you can just play, when it basically just says play this for as many times as this is in your discard pile.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the thing is like Quan Chi, like I don't know if Quan Chi would be like acceptable, I guess, if he like had more cost to his things. Yeah. I mean, if he had like a control check cost or something, like if he had like basically the Gabrick R where it was like a 5+ or something. I mean, on the one hand, like that just means he's going to make a bunch of checks and get characters for his other E. Yeah. Or for his E. But on the other hand, it just means that like, if you're gonna spam it, 2 things are gonna happen. One, you're gonna fail some of those checks. Yep. And if you're basically like relying on that as like your primary like defense, like there's gonna be times where it's gonna let you down. I mean, it's the same as like Portal Barrier. Like sure, like that can reduce down to 3, but sometimes you check a 3 and you're just like, well, I'm not tapping 2 foundations.
Yeah, exactly.
To get -1 damage.
Yeah.
So on the one hand, like it's not guaranteed. And on the other hand, like, if you're checking, like, if you start checking that many cards, like...
You're going to mill.
You're going to mill.
Yep.
I mean, and if you cycle, then you don't have access... Like, this thing is, like, if you are in a position where you're like, oh, man, I'm about to cycle soon, and then I don't get to use all these characters that I've built up. So, like, it just adds sort of, like, a little bit more of, like, a clock. Yeah. It's like, it accelerates how quickly you might see the characters, but it also accelerates how quickly those characters might go away.
Exactly, yeah.
And if you're just like, oh, I'm playing this on every enhance. I mean, if you're making an extra like 10 checks a turn,
that's
like,
a lot. Yeah,
that's like look at Ava. When you had all in 2-dot Ava, like 59 or 60 cards. Yeah, like if she used her E like 3 times, that's like a third of her deck, she was in trouble. So
I've made the joke in the Rockford chat that I felt like one time, like I honestly thought about building Quan Chi without even using the character enhance because that R's so good. And Nick, you could play like a grindy type deck where you just gain a bunch of health, you just throw your opponent and they can't do anything because you're gaining all this health back, and you're basically they play enhance. It's
but see, wouldn't that be better with like a couple characters in it?
Well, yeah, of course, but it's just the point that it's the point that you could do that.
Proving a point.
You're proving a point. You're sending a message.
I mean, that's the thing. And even, like, the character thing, I mean, maybe it's, like, discard a card. Maybe, it's just something.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah. I don't know.
It's free.
It's too free. It's just too free. It's just nuts. It's just ridiculous. But... Well,
I don't know. Like, there's a middle ground.
There is.
Between like Street Fighter and like Bebop /
I really think.
I mean, honestly, the middle ground is most of the characters in MK.
Yeah, exactly, and that's fine. Like, I think that's great. I think like we said, like Liu Kang and Quan Chi are just like the outliers. Everybody else is pretty much okay. For the most part, I thought.
I think so.
I think they're fine. They're and like even like the lower tier Bebop characters, like even though those guys are really like the Fae, the Asimov or whatever, and you could even to the point like someone asked me the other day, like, is Mad Pro bad now because no one's playing him? I'm like, no, Mad Pro's still really good. Just everyone's playing all this new shiny stuff. But if you're looking at like the bottom tier guys, like
here's the thing. You know, so the Mad Pro thing, Mad Pro is in the same like that's the thing, you know, Mad Pro and Spike One are kind of in the same boat. Where if you just show up with the build that was tearing it up before MK came out, like,
you're not
going to get messed up.
Yeah, probably.
You know, like, I mean, if you're playing that Mad Pro deck with, like, 15 attacks and someone shows up with, like, a Fatality deck, like, you better pray that you just draw your attacks.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
Because you're not going to be able to lean back on, like, Punch and Judy because they're going to get removed.
Mm-hmm.
There's a ton of action heat.
Yeah.
So, basically, if you're playing Mad Pro, like, you can still have Punch and Judy if you want to. But you can't count on it. Like, it's sort of one of those things where it's like, know that there's a decent possibility that you'll never get to use them.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, I mean, it's just like, he's a 7-hander, he has damage reduction, and he has, like, free speed pump.
Mm-hmm. He's actually really good. He's still very good.
Like, just get rid of that old deck and build a new one.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing for Spike. Is like, he's still really good. He's still got great stats.
Yep.
And honestly, I guess it's sort of like silly to say, but it's like his enhances have like more of a cost than like Punchy.
Yeah, I know, right?
So, but it's like, you know, he's still a 7/24 with an unblockable attack.
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
So I think
you can leave it open.
Dogs.
Yeah, dogs. Yep.
Dog time.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm just very disappointed how this stuff is still like we were talking in the Rockford chat that every set since Tides actually has had something banned other than Indines and there was one other one too, didn't have anything banned in it. But there's always like one outlier that were they just trying it out to see how good it was? Like, maybe it's an experiment like the Jiffany Jamber thing was, where we want to see what it does?
Well, wait, since what Tides? So, like, well, I mean, Tides had a bunch of stuff banned.
Yeah, and then Mega Man, Rise of Masters had Skullman, Gemini Man, Dimitri.
Well, what about, like, the tins? I guess Huitzel was. Was anything banned in the Mega Man tins?
No, because it was all bad. Well, bad to a point to where it's not bannable. Huitzel, whatever. Huitzel, and then we had Skullman, Gemini Man. We had Dimitri, which was around a lot longer. Which kind of feels like Quan Chi is like the Dimitri now. It's like, why would you play any other life deck other than?
That's not true because Quan Chi already has cardboard.
Well, yeah, that's true. I guess you're right. Sorry, my bad.
Don't you dare!
Oh man. And then, we skipped Indines because that set was completely horrible.
That had bans.
Did it? Oh, it's because they can't print right. They
had another ban.
What
That's that Magic.
Oh.
It was too free.
That's right.
Be able to flip a foundation to make a recheck on a 2/5.
Too free. It was too free. Then so we go Napalm Man, Zoe.
Yeah, go ahead.
We skipped Street Fighter because that was completely bad.
I mean, there was others. Wasn't there other stuff from whatever?
Battle for Power? Yeah. Proud Nose because it was too...
I mean, Scorch Wheel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Scorch Wheel. I'm talking like character-wise.
I guess. I mean, the thing is honestly, like, I'd rather see non-character cards get banned than character cards. Like, if you're going to, like, make something messed up...
Make an attack.
I guess put it on a non-character card and don't put it on, like, an ultra rare.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I get
it. It's like, if you ban a rare, and maybe you ban, like, a $10 or $15 card, whatever. Yeah. If you ban a common, awesome.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, like cats,
like Strumloff, good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Whatever. Like, Zoe was banned.
That, like, doesn't matter.
Like, nothing out of Street Fighter's been banned, right? Because it's just a horrible set in general.
It's not a horrible set.
No, it's not.
It's a fine set with a bunch of bad characters.
Yes, there you go. It is a fine set, yes.
There are a lot of perfectly fine cards in the set.
I know. I'm just trying to whatever.
There's a lot of good foundations. I mean, the big thing is, like, a lot of them destroy and remove his cost, which I feel like if they were printed a set before or a set after,
it would have been fine.
But whatever. I mean, it's kind of one of those things where, like, in a way, that's okay because then they made Deadlock such a big thing that you don't mind having like powerful effects that result in the Foundation going away.
I wouldn't have minded to see like Securing His Destiny or what the M Bison one. Like instead of like a destroyer remove, like it could have been like a flip. Would have been fine too. Like I don't know, and then
but those are both really good cards.
Oh, I understand that. Like so is Spiders, and like it flips itself too. But like you could have had like a sub thing.
Spiders completely different. Like Spiders is
it's a different topic. Yes.
Ridiculous compared to those two.
Yeah, it's also true. Yes, but yeah, it just seems
like
there's an outlier in every set. That's in my opinion. So but I don't know if that. I don't know. Like I've heard from people that stuff goes through playtest, and then we know like the whole Spike one thing. He was completely different after playtest, and then someone changed him before print because it would be cool. Whatever. So it's just my old man gruff coming out. Just
I don't know why I'm the voice of reason today.
I know, it's not weird. It's kind of weird, right?
Take a step back, Chris. All right.
Yeah, take a step back. Yeah. I guess in closing though, it's like I have a feeling Quan Chi's gonna go after Nats. I have a feeling that him.
You think he's gonna win Nats?
Yes, I do. That will be. I'll save that for our U.S. Nats prediction show.
Sneak peek, guys.
But I think he's gonna win Nats. I think he's gonna win cardboard again. Yes,
2 for 2.
Yeah, definitely. I think the winning, even though my team isn't playing a Quan Chi, and I'm very very sad about it. Quan Chi's gonna win a teams too. I think Quan Chi. I think the teams. It's a little hard. It's a little different.
There was no Quan Chi winning teams in the UK, right?
Nope.
He was in the finals.
He was in the finals.
He lost.
Yes, he lost. Yeah.
I gotta say, it is funny to me that the Liu Kang. So like, it's Liu Kang in finals lost.
Yep.
There was a Liu Kang that was Swiss champ of the PTC in Virginia and lost in top 4 to Reptile.
Yep.
There were 4 Liu Kangs in top 4 of teams in the UK.
Yep.
But the 2 that were in the finals both lost their matches.
Yep. He's okay. He's fair, guys.
So let's see. To Jackie and what's her face? Cassie. And it's just kind of funny to me where it's just like, Liu Kang is everywhere. Like, so Liu Kang is the new Dimitri.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. I would say that. Yeah.
Always second place.
Yeah. But
unplayable. If you want to win well, actually, I can't recommend playing Liu Kang at Bats.
Yeah.
Because there's gonna be what I'm curious to see is whether we get like a Turbo Man situation.
Oh.
Where there's like 15 people playing Liu Kang,
and then they all start,
and all of them go, "Oh no, I like lost a round," and
they all
start like
dropping,
giving their friends wins, like in like round like 5 or 6, and then nobody gets into top 16 because everybody thought there was no way they'd be the one that got in.
That would be hilarious. But I actually think that's gonna
just play it out. Your friends suck.
Just play it out, man. I guess on a different
integrity of results.
Yes. I guess on a different...
Unless your friend is playing like a really shitty Quan Chi that can't beat your deck, and then by all means,
Leatherman.
Scoop that Liu Kang into tops and beat him for cardboard.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the next strat.
I guess on the new topic, there's a new card game coming out this Friday, I believe, the Transformers TCG.
Oh my gosh,
we're gonna go there. Yeah, we're gonna go there. I'm gonna end the show on a happy note.
Time's over, guys.
I wanna end on a happy note. I'm very excited for it. I think it's gonna be. I think it's just. I know that it's just like a casuals game because they've announced that they're not gonna do organized play for it already. They just want it to be for like people just to have fun and whatever. But it looks neat and it has Gen 1 Transformers.
Very little about it except that like the character cards are like
they're oversized. Yeah,
8 by 12.
Yeah, they're huge. Yeah, they're kind of like
they're double sized, right? So they're what? They're like 5 by 10 or something.
Did you ever play the DC deck building games and all that, where they had like an oversized character card?
Yeah, but they're not that big.
I think they're a little smaller than that.
Okay.
I think.
Well, I remember hearing that they were double sized.
Oh, well, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet because it's coming in on Friday. So me and Trent are gonna pick some product up and we're gonna play, and so we're gonna see what it's like.
I want to check. I definitely want to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
I know Thomas Gordon picked up a box for me at Gen Con that I still haven't received.
Because he's a gypsy. To quote you, he's a gypsy who doesn't live at home?
Yeah. I mean, Gen Con was, what, like a month and a half ago?
Oh, God, yeah.
And I don't, let's see. I don't know about the week after Gen Con. Whatever. I don't know about, a couple weeks. I know he's been to, Dragon Con.
Yeah.
UK Nats.
Yep.
The Slamboree.
Yep. Oh, he's going. I think he's going to the
other stuff.
I think he's going to the Michigan Invitational. I
mean, he probably went to some Premier Store event, somewhere, wherever. Yeah. And it's just like, dude, all you have to do is drop that in the mail. He's like, I'll drop it off to you. Where am I going to see you? I'm like,
Nats?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
You're confirmed for Nats, right?
I'm not technically confirmed.
Oh no!
It's still planned.
We need you to be there because we need.
I'll just come down with a cold.
No, don't. Oh yeah, I get you. Call it. Yeah, I get it. I'll erase that part from this video. I won't.
I'm sure that all the people at my work watch this.
Oh, they do. They should. But I'm pretty excited for it because it just looks fun and it's something different. And I was in the middle of watching a gameplay video while I was working out, and then I was on the treadmill, and then my treadmill ended, so I stopped it and haven't gone back to it. But
then I fell off the treadmill.
No, not really. I haven't done that in a long time, and that's very embarrassing. But yeah, I don't know. It kind of, I guess I compare every game to Versus, which is kind of bad because Versus was really, really awesome and the best card game I've ever played.
I mean, Versus is really good and really punishing.
Yes. I think we've had this. Yeah,
it's like I don't know that you can really recommend. You're like, hey, I want to make a card game. I'm going to make it just like Versus. You're like, cool, no one's going to play it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's very, yeah. I don't, see the issues though, I don't remember it being that punishing though. I just don't. I mean,
when's the last time that you tried playing with people who really had never played before?
Oh.
And I'm talking people where they're just learning it, they haven't really built their own decks.
Oh, okay. I get you. That's the worst. That is the worst.
I mean, here's the thing. When we had some new players here and there, basically, I knew that there was a decent chance that person would stick around when they beat me for the first time.
Yeah.
And that was usually after a month and a half.
Mm-hmm.
It's if they stuck around that long, I was and then they finally built something, and I was like, oh shit, I lost.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
Yeah. But yeah. But my salt rant is over. It wasn't even really that salty. It was just me being grumpy, I think. It was more of a grumpy rant than anything. So yeah. You got anything going on UFS wise or anything near around you?
No, I don't know what I'm playing.
Yeah.
I haven't
I assume your team.
I don't think I've looked at a UFS card since Virginia.
I assume you're teaming with Scott. I assume.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh man, just gonna roll in on a horse, and someone's just gonna be like, "I want that man on my team."
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the Emerson. I'm just gonna pick up a couple kids.
Yep. Carry them.
Ride them straight to finals.
Finals. Just make sure you win this time, okay?
And do what I can.
Oh, for the good people at home, you want to tell people about your fantasy team, your update.
They don't care.
Yes, they do. The people love your fantasy team.
I came in third place, everybody. I mean, I got my money back. Fantasy cost me nothing this year except a bunch of wasted time and heartache.
Hey,
my fantasy team is a lot better than the Orioles, so...
Is that worse than actually losing money is just feel like you wasted your time?
No, are you kidding me?
Just a joke.
$50. It was 100% worth. Do you know how much I was checking my team this past week to make sure that I gave myself the best chance to get
come
my
in
money
third?
back?
Yeah, I bet.
I'm crossing my fingers. I'm like, God, I hope Brad Keller does good. He's a starter for the Kansas City Royals.
Okay, thanks. I had no idea who that was at all. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, so I think we'll come to a close here, and then, yeah. So,
on that high point.
On that high note, Everyone have a good night. We'll try to get the US Nats episode filmed whenever we can get.
Did you talk to the UK guys without me? You should have.
Yeah, no, they had to. I had to. One, it was either they had to cancel or I had to cancel. I don't remember. It was one of the two. So we'll eventually get those guys on. But then we also have our US Nats show.
Who are we getting again for that?
Kevin and we're bringing the band. We're getting the band back together from the Year in Review show with Dave Wagner and Kevin Broberg.
Did we have Tim on that?
No, we didn't have Tim on that one. Okay. Why you want Tim on that one?
I don't know. It's gonna be 2 belts.
We could bring Church and his creepy dolls.
That's busy.
That's very busy. I mean, like
I don't know. I mean,
we'll figure it out. We always do. You know.
Figure it out.
You know, like everyone thinks you're the host. I'm just the behind the scenes guy, I guess. So
I mean, you call me your co-host with regularity, so I understand that confusion.
You are my co-host. You are in my heart. But anyway, all right, everyone, have a good night.
Later.